my name is Catherine. My name sign is like cat. Right now I work at the DHHSC and I also work with the interpreting department there. I've been working there for about 5 years. I have 2 daughters, Alicia and Christina. Alicia is 15 and Christina's 12. Alicia she's a sophomore at Buchanan High School, and Christina is in 7th grade. She goes to ASI. Christina plays soccer at ASI. She's been playing for about 5 years. She's never stopped. And in the future, she hopes to get a scholarship so she can play at Fresno State. So now, I want to tell you a story. It's a little joke. Hopefully you guys find it funny. It starts out with a nun sitting in the back seat of a cab. So the driver of the cab, he keeps looking at the nun through the rearview mirror. And about the third or second time, he finally gets the courage to ask the nun a question. He says, "Well, if you don't mind, can I ask you a question?" And then says "Oh, sure, that's fine. Ask me anything you want." So the driver says, "Well, I fantasize about kissing nuns." So the nun says, "Oh, that's fine, as long as you're a priest and you're not married." So the driver thinks about it. He finally says, "Yep, I'm a priest and I'm not married." So then he's like, "Okay, well, that's fine with me. Park the car over and come on back." Driver's like, "Yes!" So he pulls over the cab, parks in a dark shaded area. He goes around the car into the back seat and they start making out until they're content. So they're done making out, and the cab driver hops in the front seat again. He starts driving. After a little while, when he's driving, he starts feeling guilty. So he looks in the rearview mirror and he tells the nun, "Hey, I need to confess something. I need to tell you something." And the nun's like, "Oh, okay. Well, what is it? You can tell me what it is." And the cab driver says, "Well, I'm married, and I'm actually Jewish." And the nun says, "Oh, that's okay. My name's Frank, and this is my Halloween costume." So my next story is about three men on a train. There's a Cuban, a Russian, and an American sitting down at a table on the train. So the Cuban man, he pulls out a cigar. It's an expensive, fancy cigar, and it tastes good. So he lights it up, decides he doesn't want it, just throws it out the window. The American's like, "Hey, you just threw a Cuban cigar out the window. Why'd you waste a cigar?" Cuban's like, "Oh, back in Cuba, we have plenty of those. I didn't need this one." So now the Russian man, he pulls out a bottle of vodka, takes a drink of it, and then throws it out the window too. Then the American's like, "Hey, you just wasted a good bottle of vodka. What'd you do that for?" And the Russian man, he's like, "Well, back home we have plenty of vodka. I don't need this one." So the American's like, "Okay, fine." He walks up, grabs the person, and throws the person out the window. And the Cuban and the Russian are like, "Hey, why'd you throw a person out the window?" And the American's like, "Oh, well, back at home in America, we have plenty of hearing people. We don't need this guy."